Hello everyone, this is our junior certificate mathematics lesson, and today we are working on revision mathematics paper 2. These are short answer questions, and with you I expect to be having a calculator and a set of mathematical instruments. Before we start, it is very important that you do have those resources because you are going to be using them answer questions in this paper. Let's look into the revision questions and work them out. The first question says, a garage services 27 buses and 18 trucks in 1 week. Express the number of buses to the number of trucks as a ratio in its simplest form. So this is what you're expected to do. You are to express the number of buses to the number of trucks as a ratio in its simplest form. And then how do we express these numbers as ratios? Remember, it should be buses to trucks. There are 27 buses, so this will be 27 is 2, and then how many trucks is 18? So it's 27 is to 18. But then, even though this is a ratio, it is not simplified. You therefore need to go on and simplify this. So how do you simplify the ratio 27 to 18? You look for the highest common factor, which can go into 27 and 18. And let's check which factor is that. 3 into 27 is 9. And then 3 into 18 is 6. So we have 9 is to 6. You check, is this simplified? We can still divide by a further 3 because it's a 9 and a 3. So there is a factor which can go into 9 and 3. Rather 9 and 6, not 3, but 9 and 6. And the factor is 3. So this will simplify to 3 into 9, it's a 3, it's into, and then 3 into 6 is 2. So the answer is 3 is to 2. You should have as well simplified it from the onset where you have 27 is to 18. You can just say which factor can go into 27 and 18. That factor is 9. 9 into 27 is 3, and then this will be 3, 2. 9 into 18 is 2. So we have 3 is to 2. So we should have as well divided by 9 to get the final answer. This is how we simplify ratios. The next revision question. Make A the subject of the formula. So you are given a formula here, and then you are expected to make A the subject of the formula. Remember, this V is the same as V over 1, and is equals to U over 1 plus 1 over 2 AT. To now simplify this, we need to look for the lowest common multiple of 1, 1 and 2. And then we'll multiply throughout by that LCM. And then the LCM of 1, 1 and 2 is 2. So we'll have V over 1 times 2, it's equals to U over 1 times 2 plus 1 over 2 AT multiplying 2. So this is what we have. And then we can simplify this. 2 times V, this will be 2V. It's equals to U times 2 is 2U. And then plus 2 into 2 once, 2 into this 2, 1. So we have 1 times AT, which is just AT. We now have 2V is equals to 2U plus AT. And we are to make A the subject of the formula. So at this stage, we will take all the variables which doesn't contain the variable A to one side of the equal sign. And then those with the variable A will remain on one side of the equal sign. So this simply means we will have 2V minus 2U is equals to AT. So this is what we have. We're simply saying AT is equals to 2V minus 2U. And then we are to divide by T because we are saying we need to make A the subject of the formula. If A is the subject of the formula, then only A will remain on one side of the equal sign. But at this stage, we can see that there is an a and a t, but we need only a. So we'll divide both sides by t. Divide here also by t. So this will be a is equals to 2v minus 2u divided by t. So this is how we make a the subject of the formula. A at this final stage is the subject of the formula, and that's how we make a the subject of the formula. All that you need to do is to make sure that the variable, in this case a, is on one side of the equal side, and then all the other variables are on the other side. And then let us look at question number 3. It says find the value of e when m equals to 19 and v equals to 13 in the formula e equals to half mv squared. So you are provided with the formula here, and then you are given the value of m as well as the value of v. So all that you need to do is to substitute for those variables m and v, and then work out the numerical value for this. And this is how you should do it. This will be e is equals to half times the value of m, and then you need to substitute the value of m. So this will be half times 19 times, and then what is v is 13, and then remember to square this because it's v squared. So e is equals to half times 19 times 13 squared, and then this will be half times 19 times 13 squared. You just have to multiply 13 by itself twice. That is 13 times 13, and this will be 169. Use your calculator to find the value of this. 13 squared is 169. So you have half times 19 times 169. So you can take the calculator over here and then multiply. It's 169 times 19. This is what we get, and then we need to divide by 2. Divide this by 2, and then the answer is 1605.5. 1605.5. So the answer is 1605.5. This is the value of e upon multiplying 19 times 13 squared, and then after that divide by 2. So this is how we work this question out. All that you need to do is simply to substitute for the variables m and v, and then work this out. You can use a calculator because this is paper 2. You are allowed to use a calculator. And then the next revision question, it says solve the simultaneous equations y equals to x plus 2 and y equals to minus x plus 4 graphically. We know that there are other methods that you can use to solve this. You get elimination, substitution, as well as the matrix method. But the question says you are to use the graphical method. It is requiring you to make sure that you are going to use the method, the graphical one. So this is the method that you are to use. And then how do you solve this question graphically? All that you need to do is to construct a table of values. Then you choose the values of x. So let us construct a table of values for the graph y equals to x plus 2. We will have this. We can have an x here, and then we can choose the values of x to be negative 2. Let's choose 1 and then 3. So we have negative 2, 1, 3. When x is equal to negative 3, what is the value of y? We just need to substitute negative 2 for x. So this will be minus 2 plus 2. And then minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Then the next one is 1. That is x is 1. So when x is 1, what is y? It's 1 plus 2. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. And then the last one here for confirmation is 3. So when x is 3, what is the value of y? It's 3 plus 2. And then 3 plus 2, what is 3 plus 2? It's 5. So this is how we can choose the values of x so that we can come out with the value of y. All that you need to do is to choose the values of x. Then from there you can use the equation y equals to x plus 2 in this case to find the values of y. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with this question. We are at question number 4, which says we are to solve the equation y equals to x plus 2 and y equals to minus x plus 4 graphically. So we have managed to construct a table for the equation y equals to x plus 2. We managed to find the values, both x and y coordinates. So we have to plot these points. The first point is minus 2, 0. Minus 2, 0 is here. And then the second point is 1, 3. 1, 3 is 1 along the x-axis, 3 along the y-axis. So this is the point 1, 3. And then the next point is 3, 5. The next point is 3, 5. 3 is here, and then 5 is here. This is the point 3, 5. From here then, you take a ruler and then draw a line joining all these points. And this is how the line that I expect you to draw. This is the line y equals to x plus 2. So we have managed to draw the line y equals to x plus 2. Then after this, you construct a table of values so that you can now draw the line y equals to minus x plus 4. Just like in the line y equals to x plus 2, we construct a table of values here. So we will construct a table of values where this will be x, this will be y. And then you can choose. When x is 0, what will be the value of y? When x is 0, the value of y will be 4. And then what if you choose the value negative 1? That is when x is negative 1. This simply means it will be minus 1 plus 4. And then minus is positive 5. So this will be 5, rather it will be 1 plus 4, giving us positive 5. So it will be a 5 here. And then the last point that we can choose, we can just choose the point 2. Meaning we have the x value here as 2. So this will be minus 2 plus 4. And then minus 2 plus 4 is 2. So the points are 0, 4. We need to plot them. 0, 4 is here. This is the point 0, 4. And then the next point is minus 1, 5. Minus 1, 5 is the point here. And then we got the point 2, 2. 2, 2 is the point here. This is what you have. And then after plotting all these points now, like we have done over here, you now take a ruler and then draw a line joining all these 3 points. And this is how the line will look like. This is the line y is equals to minus x plus 4. And then this one is the line y is equals to x plus 2. The question said you are to solve the 2 equations graphically. The solution to this is the intersection of the 2 lines. Now you need to check, where does the 2 lines intersect? That's the solution to this. Let's check where the 2 lines intersect. We have, the 2 lines are intersecting at the coordinate point 1, 3. This is the intersection point 1, 3. And then what does this mean? This is simply saying x is equals to 1 and y is equals to 3. So this is how we solve the 2 equations graphically. All that you need to do is to construct a table of values for both equations. And then after constructing a table of values for both equations, you will now draw the line for each equation. In this case, we drew the line y equals to minus x plus 4 and the line y equals to x plus 2, and then find where the 2 lines intersect. The intersection of the 2 lines is the solution to this question. And then what about the next revision question? The next revision question says solve the inequality. So you have to solve the inequality 3 minus 4x is greater or equals to 13. So you are expected to solve this. So how do we solve inequalities? We solve inequalities the very same way we solve equations. But all that we need to do is to make sure that we maintain the inequality sign. It is very important that you maintain the inequality sign. So here, this will be, the 3 will move this side because it's on this side of the equal sign and it's positive. So when it gets to this side of the inequality sign, it becomes negative. So all that we'll have is, we'll have minus 4x, it's greater or equals to 13 minus 3. And then what is 13 minus 3? This simply means minus 4x is greater or equals to 10. So this is what we have. We have minus 4x is greater or equals to 10. And then remember, it says solve the inequality, meaning we are to find what x, the values of x that can satisfy this inequality. So all that we're going to do is to divide by negative 4. But remember, when you in inequalities, when you divide by a negative number, the inequality sign changes direction. So here we will have minus 4x divided by minus 4, and then because you are dividing by a negative number, the inequality sign changes direction. It will face in the opposite direction because you are dividing by a negative number. So this will be minus 4x divided by minus 4 is less or equals to 10 divided by minus 4. You need to know that when you divide inequalities by a negative number, the inequality sign changes direction. So make sure. And then minus 4 into minus 4, this is just 1 and then a 1 here, meaning we are having an x here. So x is less or equals to, and then we have 10 divided by negative 4, and then 4 into 10 is, this will be negative 2, remainder 2 over 4. It's minus 2 and 2/4, and then this will be x, it's less or equals to minus 2 and a half. It's minus 2 and a half because 2 over 4 can be simplified. This is how we solve inequalities. The most important thing when we solve inequalities is to remember that when we divide by a negative number, the inequality sign changes direction immediately at that stage. Also note that inequalities are solved the very same way we solve equations. And make sure that you maintain the inequality sign. Don't change the inequality sign to an equal sign. You maintain the inequality sign. Welcome back from the short break, and we are working on Mathematics Paper 2 revision questions. We are at question number 5, and the question that we are working on is part B of question number 5. It says, what is the greatest integer of x value satisfying the inequality in A? So we have to find the greatest possible integer value of x satisfying the inequality in part A. We have x is less or equals to minus 2 and a half. So what are the integer values which will satisfy this? It says x is less or equals to minus 2 and a half. So the x value should be less than minus 2 and a half. So this simply means x can be equals to integer values less than minus 2 and a half. The first integer value is minus 3, minus 4 as the next integer value, and then minus 5, minus 6, the list goes on. As long as the number here is less than minus 2 and a half. And remember, we are saying integer values, meaning we are looking at both positive and negative whole numbers. So here we'll have only the negative numbers. X can take the value minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, and the list goes on. And the question is saying, what is the greatest possible integer value of x that can satisfy the inequality? X is less or equals to minus 2 and a half. So the greatest possible integer value x is equals to minus 3. This is the greatest value which will satisfy this inequality. Minus 4 is less than minus 3, minus 5 is less than minus 3 as well, minus 6 is also less than minus 3. So the greatest integer value which satisfies this inequality is minus 3. This is how you answer this question. And then the next revision question says, given that OB equals to 4, 0 and BC, which is a vector, is equals to minus 3, 4, draw the line segment of vector OC. So you are expected to draw the line segment of vector OC. This is what we have. You can just draw the vector OB first. Vector OB, we start here. Vector OB, if we choose this point here to be choose the point here to be our O. So this is O. And then it says move 4 steps horizontally. So we'll move 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 0 up. So this is where our B will be. So here it's O. This is O here, and then here it's B. And then it says, what about BC? This is B. So BC says we are to move -3 steps. Negative simply means we are to move on the left hand side. So this will be 1, 2, 3 and then 4 steps up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the point C will be. This is our point C. And then the question says you are to draw the line segment of vector OC. So this is our OC. You can just draw the line segment. Take a ruler and then draw the line segment. In this case, this is your your OC. So we can see that your OC is a total of OB and BC. All that you need to do is to add the 2 vectors. And you can even check this. It's OB plus BC. What do we have? Are we going to get the same vector here? Our OB, this is 4, 0 plus. And then what is BC? BC is minus 3, 4. So this will be 4 plus minus 3. 4 plus minus 3 is 1. And then what about 0 plus 4? Is 4. Meaning from O going to C, you simply move 1 step from O and then 4 steps up. So this is 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we have done here is correct. And then let's look at the next question. The next question says, what is the column vector of OC? All that you need to do is to go back to the diagram, check what the column vector of OC is. The column vector of OC, this is OC as a vector, it should be in the form X, Y. Meaning, you are to move along the X-axis, then move along the Y-axis. So when we move along the X-axis to find our OC, we'll move 1 step to the right from point O. So this will be 1. And then how many steps will we move up? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 steps. So this will be 4. Meaning the column vector of OC is 1, 4. This is how we represent vectors as line segment, as well as coming out with the column vector for a given line segment. Because here, from O to C, this is a line segment. And then this question is simply saying, write down the column vector for the line segment OC. And we can see that to write down the column vector for line segment OC, you move 1 step to the right and then you'll move 4 steps up. This is how we revise Junior Certificate in Mathematics lesson. And I just want to advise you to make sure that you revise. Start your revision early. Where you don't understand, ask your teachers. They should be able to help you. And then also, make sure that you augment your textbooks with the past examination papers, because they'll give you the true reflection of how examination look like. This is all I had for you, Junior Certificate Mathematics learners. Until we meet again in our revision exercise, from me and the rest of the Junior Certificate Mathematics crew, goodbye.